Hey, it's Matt Cook here, and in this educational video we're going to show you how to fix diabetes, and specifically we're going to give you 5 tips for fixing diabetes. Remember, real quick review here, this is a gut that reverses diabetes. If you have this kind of gut with this nice line of cells, it protects your gut, it keeps the food in your gut and only lets the good stuff into your body. However, you probably have this kind of gut, and this is the gut that actually is leaking out toxins from your body. And there's gaps in there, and all those gaps cause all kinds of bad stuff to go into your body, which are bacteria, viruses, mold, toxins. So those are what are going through those gaps in your body and wreaking havoc with your cells and causing all the symptoms of diabetes along with a lot of other problems. We've seen studies proving diabetes is caused by inflammation. In summary, obesity, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular disease share a metabolic milieu characterized by insulin resistance, which is the word for diabetes, and chronic subacute inflammation. If you get rid of the gut inflammation, the diabetes goes away. This is now established. So why haven't you heard this from your doctor? It's not that your doctor is stupid or a bad person, it's just that doctors are largely trained by the big drug companies. They get their training to either prescribe or cut. That's it. They don't talk about causes, they don't try to fix these things, they either prescribe or cut. And it's not a matter of just prescribed medication or cutting, and if it isn't, the doctors have very little training. It turns out many people are fixing their diabetes by fixing the inflammation that causes diabetes. What are these men? Well, these men are adopting simple diet and lifestyle changes that anybody can adopt. They're not craving carbs, they're not denying themselves good foods and fun. What they're doing is changing what they eat in small ways. They're taking certain supplements, they're becoming a little bit more active, a little bit more exercise perhaps, a little bit more activity instead of just sitting around on their chair, but they're not doing, incredibly strenuous workouts or I've helped over 21,262 men fix ED, prostate problems, and high blood pressure diabetes. And here are the 5 tips that will help you reverse your diabetes and restore your sex life. So first, you have to change some of the foods that you eat. That doesn't mean you have to go crazy, but some of the things that you eat, some of the types of foods, some of the types of bread, some of the types of things that you're putting on your plate, you're piling high with on your plate, when you sit down to eat, are hurting you and causing the inflammation in the gut. So you're going to have to say, no, I don't think I'm going to eat those kinds of foods. They're not radical differences, but there are just some minor changes you're going to have to make. Second, you've got to restore the right balance of bacteria and yeast that are found in the gut. The gut microbiota in human adults with type 2 diabetes differs from non-diabetic adults. It turns out that a lot of it is by the wrong little micro beasties in your gut. And you have a lot of the wrong ones, and you don't have enough of the right ones. There are over 2,000 type of bacteria and yeast that belong in the human gut. And what we want to do is we want to get more of these nice ones, and we want to get fewer of the bad ones. We want to change that whole ratio. Studies prove that the right microbes reverse diabetes. Probiotics has potential biotherapeutics in the management of type 2 diabetes, prospects and perspectives. There's been a tremendous amount of research showing that diabetics can reverse their gut inflammation by changing the bacteria and yeast and stuff that are. Third, you have to fix nutritional deficiencies that men have who have diabetes. For example, vitamin K2. Have you heard of vitamin K2? Vitamin K2 is a vital vitamin. It's not the same as vitamin K, which is a clotting vitamin. Vitamin K2 is found in very low levels in most men's bodies, especially men that have diabetes. When you have more vitamin K2, it cleans out your arteries and makes them more flexible. It actually reverses a lot of the symptoms of diabetes. There's also vitamin D3. Vitamin D3 must be taken with vitamin K2 and also vitamin A. These all have to be taken in the right ratios, and they can have amazing results. Almost all men with diabetes are not getting enough vitamin K2. Vitamin K2 supplementation improves insulin sensitivity, meaning it reverses diabetes. You have to take the right kind of supplements in the right ratios. When you take vitamin K2, vitamin D3, vitamin A, you have to take them in the right ratios. You may also need more or less calcium. You may need to take more magnesium or less. You may not be getting enough magnesium in your body, even if you're taking it, because your gut is inflamed. Inflamed guts oftentimes, they don't allow absorption of magnesium. So this is something you have to be aware of. Are you taking a multivitamin? A lot of multivitamins have way too much of certain things like biotin. Some of them have iron in them. A lot of them are lacking in the right ratios of vitamins. In fact, multivitamins can do more harm than good. Fourth, you need to eat the right kind of carbs. You actually need carbs. You need to take the right kind. Did you know there's a type of rice that is good for you and a type of rice that's harmful? There are certain types of ways that you can be consuming the right kind of potatoes, the right kind of things on your plate so that you can eat plenty of carbs and still reverse your diabetes, because it's been discovered that when you change what you eat and you eat the right kind of carbs, you can reverse diabetes and you can still eat carbs. There are safe carbs, good carbs, super good carbs, what we call, and dangerous carbs. Most men with diabetes are consuming too many dangerous carbs and not enough safe carbs. So they suffer from these bad carbs and they're not consuming enough good carbs, what we call safe starches. Fifth, you need to eat the right kind of fats. There's saturated fats, there's monosaturated fats, and there's unsaturated fat. It turns out that the certain fats are good for you and are bad for you. For example, too much omega-6 fat increases the gut permeability. So when the food goes through your gut, all that bad stuff is going into your body instead of being handled in your gut. All because you have too much omega-6 fat, and it's very, very common. So how will it be when you're free from taking the pills, the medications, eating as much as you want, and not making people make special diabetic meals for you? How will it be when you're losing flab effortlessly? When you're going from this to this? Won't that be wonderful? Automatically, your wife will be very jealous that you're losing weight effortlessly when she's trying really hard and not losing. I've spent thousands of hours of research on diabetes, blood sugar problems, high blood pressure, and erectile dysfunction. In the course of my work, I've helped over 21,262 men recover from ED, and many of these men, if not most, have had pre-diabetes or diabetes, and now they've gotten totally better, because they fixed the inflammation that caused problems. I created a special diet and lifestyle system. Thousands of men have used it to recover their testosterone levels, free themselves from ED, and live a normal. Recently, from my work with these men, I discovered that we could reverse diabetes. This is what I'm covering right now. Your ED will get better, and you can have a great sex life again. You'll go from this floppy kind of doodle to an erect doodle. Because the epithelial cells are no longer inflamed, and they're nice and rigid instead of all floppy like this. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to fix erectile dysfunction. We're going to focus on 4 types of erectile dysfunction and fixing all 4 types for a fantastic sex life with a hard penis for as long as you want. Looking forward to the next video.